Back to another episode of Ascension Talk with Ariella, coming to you live on the first 3 Thursdays of each month at 4 p.m. in our beautiful avatar Ascension Community in Facebook. Hello to you all. Hope you are doing well on this fine Thursday. Do you like my Isis chalice? Check out my new Isis chalice. I thought that you guys would like that. That Glastonbury, living near Glastonbury is a wonderful thing. You can purchase all of these incredible pieces. So cheers. I have some. What am I drinking today? I'm still on my tea. I'm on my Ayurvedic tea at the moment, which I'm making at home. It's a lovely blend of ginger, of fennel, of cumin seeds and coriander seeds. It's very, very nice. Hi, Sherry Green. Great to see you here. So today I'm going to be sharing with you the second part of my How to Connect with Your Purpose series. So if you haven't already watched it, I do recommend having a look in this Facebook group. You will find part 1, which I live streamed last Thursday, in here. I do also really recommend that if you're not already on my email list, that you get onto my email list, because this month in January 2020, my guidance very much has been to share tips, strategies, awakening calls with you, all about how you can connect with your mission, your higher purpose in 2020. And there's some really great stuff which is being shared. You can also go onto my blog. For those of you who are connected to my work, who are seeing the value in my work, you will definitely want to tune into my blog from time to time. There's lots and lots of amazing stuff on there now. Some real gold is in the blog about all types of topics, whether it might be purpose, whether it might be energy management, whether it might be how to ignite your business, whether it's ascension, lots and lots of amazing stuff. So do check out my blog. So just a little recap for those of you who didn't see my first video. I shared with you in it the 3 clues, my 3 top clues for you in how to discover your purpose. Okay, because your purpose is always there. It's always inside of you. It's always in your creation story. And for those of you who are my creation code initiates, so I have a 4-month program called Creation Code Initiate Program, and some of you who are watching this are also in that program. I'm taking them through a whole process at the moment. It's a 4-month process, and month 1 is all about illumination. So many people having lots of incredible insights, lots of revelations and lots of breakthroughs this month. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a mini kind of session today, a mini sharing of what we do in a much more greater depth in my 4-month Creation Code Initiate program. So part number 1, I was sharing that 3 clues to look out for to understand and uncover your mission. Clue number 1 is that it's often a pain point. Yeah, your higher purpose comes online as a result of a challenge, of a pain point, something that has been probably really, really challenging to you in your life, and you have unlocked certain talents, certain skills as a result of going through it. That's clue number 1. Clue number 2 is that it could well be, your high purpose could well be attached, connected to something that you feel passionately about, something that you feel passionately about. So it could be a cause, it could be some sort of activity that you love doing. Clue number 3 is that it's a natural talent that you already have. So some of you could be great communicators, great networkers, great at connecting with others. You could be very talented creatively, for example. So those are the 3 clues. Today, I'm going to be talking to you a bit more about how your higher purpose feels when it comes online. So how it feels, how you will probably feel, there's no shoulds, right? But there's how you're probably going to feel if you're in alignment, if you are connected to your higher purpose, if you are embodying your higher purpose. And I'm going to give you some indicators of how it doesn't feel. Okay, so I want you to come into like the emotional, the feeling body today, and get a sense, like just get a sense as I'm talking you through this, on how do you feel in your current day-to-day reality, and get a gauge for like which one are you, which camp are you in, right? Are you in the camp of like feeling that you are aligned with your flow, aligned with your bliss? Or are you in a camp where it's like, yeah, no, there's a transition that needs to happen here. How I'm spending my energy, right? How I'm spending my energy on a day-to-day basis doesn't feel in alignment and in flow for me anymore. Thank you, Carrie. Yes, it is a great chalice indeed, my Isis chalice. Thank you. So, and you may know me, for those of you who have logged in before, I do like a bit of interactivity on these live streams, a bit of connection. So yes, like definitely putting comments in, sending thumbs up, hearts, like let me know what's landing for you. That's how I know what's landing for you, when I see the thumbs up, the hearts, and there are comments. Otherwise it can be a bit like, okay, like how do I need to adjust this because nothing's coming back. So let's talk about some indicators, first of all, of how your higher purpose, thank you, lots of thumbs up and hearts coming through, I love that, how your higher purpose does feel when it comes online. So feel into this. Your higher purpose, when it comes online, it doesn't feel like work, right? You are still working, you may be very busy in fact, but it doesn't feel like work, right? There's a difference. It feels like your passion, your bliss, your creativity. It actually feels like it's like a channeling state. Okay, it's something that, you know, you're just in that flow of magic. It's you're channeling through your soul gifts. So it feels like, even though, and hey, I have this as well, you know, you can sometimes be very busy, right, with your mission. And when your mission is expanding and it's growing and you're serving more people, then, you know, you get more demands on your time. We're still here in the 3D reality. There are more demands on your time. There are more responsibilities, but it just feels like, you know, you're just happy. You're happy to be there. It feels like just very light, the energy, your passion, your bliss. So, that is one of the first indicators. The second is, leading on from that, it's all nourishing, it's all consuming. Your higher purpose, when it comes online, it's like it's its own mini ecosystem, right? You almost don't need anything else outside of you. You can literally go for hours, right? Like you don't necessarily, like I've had it when my purpose was first coming online, Ethan would be like, you know, I'd sort of realized at the end of the day, me and Ethan haven't even spoken, right? It's like, he's like, hello, things have changed now, we've integrated. But when it was first coming online and things were super busy, it was like I could just be in that bubble, and I was just in a bubble, and it was just all nurturing, all consuming, right? You kind of like don't need anything outside of you. So that's also a good indicator to look at. Your higher purpose, and this is key, right? This is key for those of you who have got something to write with, write this down. Your higher purpose is designed by you to help you to transmute your greatest challenges into your greatest gifts of gold. Your higher purpose is designed by you to help you to transmute your greatest challenges into your greatest gifts of gold. Now, you know me, I do love an esoteric system, particularly my Hebrew soul blueprint esoteric system, which I've been sharing with you. And when you know your soul blueprint and you look at your soul blueprint, particularly with what I'm talking about here, you would be looking at the coding, which is in physical challenges and in spiritual challenges, right? Those are the challenges that you set up for yourself at soul level. So what's going to happen is, as you step forwards and align with your higher purpose, you're actually going to create opportunities for yourself to step through your challenges. So as an example, let's say, which code shall we use? Let's say that you've got a 7-7, right? Let's say you've got a 7-7 code in one of the challenge positions. So the 7s in a challenge position, you can hold yourself back. Like the 7s, they can be, they can isolate themselves, they can avoid connection, they don't want to be seen, they fear being seen for who they truly authentically are. So maybe like doing a live stream like I'm doing now would really freak a 7 out. It's like, okay, they prefer to be unseen. They fear people if they really know me, if they really knew me. You know, that's something that the 7 might think, right? So as you're stepping forwards with your mission and also avoiding group situations, the 7s, they need to confront this, right? Because that's all illusion. You know, who they truly are is somebody who is there to, who they've come here to be seen, right? They've come here to be seen. They have like amazing communication gifts. They have deep connections with people. Like when they take off their mask, when they get over that fear of being seen, they can deeply connect with people, and they can really help other people to integrate around them as well. Because part of the 7 thing is that they're actually, part of the reason that they're not wanting to be seen is because they're fairly unintegrated inside of them. It's like they're one person to that person, they're another person to that group of friends. You know, there can be these sub-personalities, right? So the 7 will purposely create initiations, opportunities for themselves to step through that and start embodying the talents that they truly have, right? So don't be surprised, and it will, right? If your mission, if your higher purpose isn't stretching you, if it isn't taking you out of your comfort zone, then it's not it. Like you're not in alignment. You know, if you're in your comfort zone and it's like, this is all easy and I'm not being tested or stretched in any way, then you're not stepping forwards, like out of your comfort zone to align with your higher purpose. Your higher purpose is designed to stretch you in the best possible way. So that's another indicator, like, are you being stretched? You know, because I know, like when I was back in corporate, which it was a part of my higher mission, because I needed to learn the skills that I learned in corporate in order to do what I do today. But like there was many a day where I was hiding. You know, I was in my comfort zone. I might be sort of playing the game a little bit and pretending that things are challenging me because I don't want them to give me more work, right? But actually, like I was in a comfort zone, and it wasn't that comfortable because I wasn't enjoying my life. That's an area to look at. When you align with your higher purpose, right, when it comes online, it often comes with some sort of beautiful like healing that happens within you. Connecting with your higher purpose is one of the most healing things that you can ever do for yourself, because you get into that channeling state. You are reconnected to source. You know, you are literally receiving your soul gifts and you're sharing them with the world, and it feels absolutely amazing. So it can come with a healing or a heart opening of some kind. It can often be, and it actually was the case for me, that when you step into your higher calling, you leave some old patterns or behaviors behind that were toxic for you or that were unhealthy for you. So for example, when I started connecting with mine, I stopped smoking. You know, I used to smoke quite heavily, actually. When I was a smoker, I would be a 20 a day smoker. And when I went through my experience, my mystical experience, many of you know what that was, and that was really that was my first real proper connection point with my higher purpose. I'd stopped smoking. It was like an instant healing that happened. And I was sick at the time as well. I was sick. I was going through a process, an alchemical process, a spiritual process, and also that was like almost a miraculous healing. I mean, I would say it was an instant healing. I went from being very, very sick, the doctors didn't know what it was, like very sick, I'm talking. I called the ambulance out out on myself twice sick. I mean, I really thought I was dying sick. I was actually going through the soul merge process. But that was an instant healing that I received after I went through this alchemic process when my higher purpose came online. So those are some of the indicators. It can come with an amazing healing or a heart opening. My heart definitely opened. It's like you get reconnected to source. You know, you literally get reconnected to your soul blueprint, right? It starts functioning in the way that you've designed it to function. So it feels amazing. Like I had so much love in my heart, so much like compassion. I was just going around telling everybody how much I loved them, and like bringing up, you know, people and just having these amazing connections. So it can be signs like that. The other indicator is that you look back on your life. Like when you look back on your life starts making much more sense to you. You know, so the things that you just thought were like random events and you didn't really understand why you were having those experiences, it's like as you keep on stepping forward to your higher purpose, it's like, that's why I needed that, right? You know, that's why I needed that skill, or that's why I had that experience. It makes sense now. You know, so you really have that you know, you really have that amazing perspective where you can look back and you can see the divine perfection of everything that you were ever creating. So if any of you are feeling, because this is where I want you to feel into your reality and into your bodies. So do you recognize, put a thumbs up or a heart or a yes in the comments if you're having these experiences in your reality at the moment. Then put a thumbs and be honest with yourself, right? Because we can't transform anything if we're not honest with ourselves. So I'm going to tell you what the indicators are now for when you haven't connected with your purpose. But those indicators for when you have, and those are some of the ones that you want to look out for, right? Those are really good indicators that you're on the right track, that you've connected with it. Okay, couple of yeses coming through. All right, so let's talk about the indicators that you haven't yet connected with your purpose. One big one is that you dread going to work. I mean, you literally, you know, it's like the alarm goes off and you dread waking up. Or what used to happen to me is I used to get pretty much depressed from Sunday lunchtime onwards, because I would already be fearing and getting very low about having to go to work on the Monday morning. I mean, that is like, guys, if you have, and be honest here, and I want you to put yes in the comments, or I want you to put a thumbs up, because I want to help you to ground into your body and ground into your intuition and your emotions here. Because if you are having that feeling, then that is a clear sign that your soul is saying, get out of there. Like, you're not supposed to feel heavy about going to work, right? Where most of us are spending most of our energy, right, during the day. You know, so thank you for your honesty. There are some thumbs up there. You know, that is your soul saying it's time to leave. There is another direction for you. And for me, I was ignoring that. I was suppressing that feeling. And a lot of us do the same, you know, suppressing that dread and just carrying on anyway, and like giving myself mental excuses, like reasons, you know, convincing myself, right, that it was still good for me. No, I am still learning skills and it's good for me to be there, and da-da-da-da-da, when actually it was fear, right? It was fear of economic insecurity. I didn't know what the hell else to do for many years. You know, so I was just like, okay, suppressing those feelings, carrying on. When you suppress any feeling, that feeling, it doesn't go away. We know that, right? It doesn't go away. It actually creates toxicity. It creates toxicity in your body, in your energy field, you know, and it can create disease, you know, dis-ease and disease, literally. So we need to pay attention. We need to listen to our guidance, because that's your clear guidance saying that there's something else for you. Also, indicators are that you're in your comfort zone, right? So when you're in your comfort zone, you are not connected to your higher purpose. You're just not. You're in your comfort zone. you have to be in your zone of mastery, in your zone of excellence, your zone of genius, right? That's the place that you operate from. It is like this channeling state again. If it's a comfort zone, if you're not stretching yourself at least once a week, that is a comfort zone. And we all have choices we're making thousands of choices every single day. And if we keep on making the same choice to stay in the comfort zone and not mix things up, then like the universe can't bring you those, like, it can't bring you the path that you need to walk down in order to connect with your higher purpose. Because connecting with your higher purpose, it always comes with a leap of faith. It always comes with looking at resistance and walking through that. It's always a stretch, and you will not be able to, like, you will not be able to find those stepping stones or create those stepping stones for yourself when you are stuck in a routine or stuck in a rut, effectively. Other indicators, you've got a program, you've got a story, a conversation running, which is that you've got to fulfill somebody else's dreams for you. It could be a parent, it could be society. There is some sort of conditioning, right, that you're trying to get somebody else's approval, or you're trying to be somebody for somebody else, but it's not actually authentically your own self-expression. And your higher purpose is always an extension of your own authentic self-expression, always. Clinging onto job status, job titles, that is a big one in our society, right? And I've seen that a lot. I also identify with that from when I was younger. I was a purchasing manager. That was my title. Well, that's what I do. I'm a purchasing manager. And you've got many people running around, well, I'm an events manager, I'm a this director, I'm a that. And it's like these identities, these titles, and they believe it's them. Like, your job is not you. Your job is not you. Your higher purpose is you, because it's an extension of your self-expression. But a title at work isn't you. But there can be like a sort of egoic status. It's really coming from fear, right? Because it's like, well, that's how I identify in the world, but it isn't really you. So we have to be prepared to let go of the false identities, the ego identities, the social conditioning. We might even have to, and like was the case for me, we might even have to let go of the attachments that we have to material possessions, or to like maintaining our status quo, right? So it can come with, when you're aligning with your higher purpose, it can come with fluctuations in finance. A lot of the time, and it depends on your soul blueprint, it depends on your coding. A lot of the time, many of us are asked to walk through the illusion of lack of limitation. That was certainly my experience when I left corporate and I lived in a caravan for 2.5 years. I got to really confront my fears around economic insecurity, and keep the faith that as long as I followed my guidance, as long as I put in the necessary work, commitment, effort, that the abundance was there for me the other side, which it absolutely was. But we have to walk through these things. So these are some of the big clues that the big indicators that you're not in alignment. Certainly, if you're still wearing masks, if you're wearing masks, if you're pretending to be somebody that you're not, if you're not embodying your own authentic self-expression, then it's going to be very, very difficult, if not impossible, for you to be on purpose. Because when you are on purpose, you are there to shine a light into the world, the light of your soul, your source light in the world, so that you can be a source of something for others in the world. You can be a natural, authentic source of something for other people in the world: love, acceptance, peace, courage, whatever that is. So if you're wearing masks, you're not going to be able to experience that flow through from source, because you just become like a channel for source to work through you and to affect other people. So those are some of the indicators that you are not on purpose. Definitely the last one that I will share is that you are still stuck in victim consciousness. So I know that there are many levels of victim consciousness, but there are some heavier levels, right? And it's like the blame, the blaming others, you know, the not taking responsibility, everything is being done to me, you know, the low self-worth, right? The I'm not good enough, you know, the self-pity, all of those states are victim states, and it just doesn't mesh with like the higher frequencies of you being on purpose. How can it? Because source is not in its victim and we're all source, right? So those are states to look out for as well. So I want you to put some comments into the comment box now. So what are you identifying with? I've shared with you how the indicators that it feels when your higher purpose does come online, and I've shared with you some indicators that it feels when your higher purpose is not online. So share with me in the comments where you believe that you are. Ground into where you currently are. If we are not in our truth about where we currently are, then we don't have that opportunity to move forwards. And I hope that something that I've shared today has like elevated you, has given you an insight, has given you some inspiration as well as some of the indicators to look out for. And look, there's no shame, like there's no blame, there's no judgment. Like we need to be compassionate with ourselves, but we do also need to know where we are at the moment so that we can make new choices and align with a new trajectory ahead. The number one rule for me in all of this when it comes to aligning with your higher purpose is you have to follow your guidance. You have to follow your guidance. And in order to follow your guidance, you need to be plugged into your guidance, because that's where the direction comes from. You know, I'm going to be doing a heads up, look out for this. I'll be sharing this on email and in the Facebook group, a whole masterclass actually next month about connecting with your guidance, like how to have clear guidance, connecting with your guidance and why it's so important. There's going to be lots and lots of tips in that and value in that for those of you who are wanting to make that connection deeper. I mean, it truly does come from your guidance. You know, you connect with your higher purpose, all of the different steps, it comes from your guidance. So I'm on a mission to help everybody get plugged into their guidance, therefore. So that is my top tip. The next thing that I would say is definitely consider getting a mentor. You know, we're not supposed to be doing this on our own. Guidance often leads us to a mentor. You know, somebody who is like one stage, two stages, a few stages in front of you, who has been where you've been and has already figured something out. You know, it's a much more direct and quick route than trying to figure everything out on your own, playing that kind of like lonely, separated game, and then not wondering, and then like getting resentful, right? Because other people seem to be further forwards than you, or you're still having those heavy feelings of dreading going to work, or, you know, not enjoying your current reality, because we all create our current reality. So if we're not enjoying it, you know, the bad news is that you have created it, and the good news is that you can recreate it in any way that you choose. You know, so getting a mentor can definitely help you to quickly ascend into your higher calling, your higher purpose. So I definitely recommend that you do that. I have done that. You know, that's why I have quickly got to where I am in my mission. I couldn't have done it on my own, and my guidance led me to some amazing teachers that I feel truly blessed and thankful for today. And now I get to be a light, a guide, a catalyst to others, also to help them on their evolutionary journeys, to remember who they are and to connect them with their higher purpose. So coming down to the comments now. Kimberly Costa-Pen, great to see you here, Kimberly. Long time no speak. I was just speaking to Kimberly a bit earlier today. She is a lovely client of mine. We've just been through the Power Harmonizer experience together, which was an incredible 9-day VIP experience. And she's also in my 4-month program that I was telling you about, Creation Code Initiate program. I see that the stretch is where I need to step. I have to follow my guidance, but it's a bit scary and also exciting. Always, Kimberly. If it's not scary and exciting, you know, it's not stretching you right. I am grateful for all I've learned at my current job, but it is not my mission. Thank you for this video. Love you, Ariella. Yeah, much love to you as well, Kimberly. And you know, none of us have to be fearful as long as we're following our guidance. You know, it's when the head kicks in and it's like the fear programs come up, the resistance comes up, the kind of like, oh yeah, but maybe like next year, blah, blah, blah programs come up. Like that's the sabotaging. If you're in tune with your guidance, and your guidance normally speaks to you through your heart, and you follow that, whatever the fears are, will get sorted as you step forwards, as long as you keep on stepping forwards. And Kimberly is definitely somebody who does step forwards. Carrie here is saying that she knows her soul purpose, feels like standing in a magic realm. Her seemingly unsurmountable challenge is money, lack of money. Yeah, been there. And it is quite the illusion, and it does take some cracking. Money struggle holds you back from doing your passion in the world. Yes, that is the illusion, and it can be very, very convincing. There is always a way out of that, Carrie. There is always a way forwards through that. You know my story. I was 25K in debt, had given all my stuff away, living in a caravan, and you know, I went from there to, in 4 months, through the choices that I made and stepping through those fears and following my guidance, unlocking 30 grand, making 30 grand in 4 months from that position. Like, cleared my debt. It was amazing, right? Moved into a house. So lots of you here. Thank you for your appreciation on my chalice. Yes, I am very proud of it as well. I love the chalice and the whole ISIS thing, of course. So yeah, it's fun. It's super fun. Okay, I'm going to love you and leave you. Liz Foles has just joined. Hello, Liz. How are you? I hope you've had a lovely Christmas and a great New Year. I know that we were speaking to you before Christmas, so maybe we are due to have a catch up with you, but I hope you've had a great time over Christmas. Sending you much love. I won't be with you. Oh, I will be with you next week. Yes, I will be with you next week. I was thinking that this was the 3rd. No, I'm going to be back with you next Thursday. So put it in your calendar, if not already there, at 4 p.m. next week for another Ascension talk with Ariella. But I hope today's episode has supported you, has inspired you, has given you some more guidance and insight about your higher purpose and how you can connect with it. And I will be back with you again next week for another live show in this Facebook group at 4 p.m. UK. Sending much love and see you soon.